Hello, ladies. I'm Kim Trathen if you're new to this group. And this is the kickoff series, the kickoff session for the Women Making Money Summer Series that I'm running. So I want to welcome you all to the Women Making Money Summer Series. This is going to look a little bit the same as some trainings I've done in the past and a little bit different, because my main goal with this is just to get this information out there, regardless if you're going to join me live and ask questions or if you are going to catch this on replay. So I'm going to be diving right in on these sessions to get you the juicy goodness that you need to help you making more money this summer. I have some notes here so I make sure that I don't miss anything that I want to share with you today. This series is all about giving you the tools and the mindset that you need to make more money this summer, or if you're in other parts of the world, right? Winter, this applies to everything. The holidays, people think they can't make money on the holidays. They think they can't make money when they go on vacation. It's summertime here, so that's why I named it the Summer Series, because I want you to be able to enjoy your time, enjoy your summer, enjoy your life, and make a lot of money. You don't have to choose between like, oh, can I spend more time with my family or can I build my business? Okay, I want you to be able to do both, make money and have more time. So we're going to kick off this Women Making Money Summer Series by talking about the 3 things that you need to make more money in your business. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper. I'm going to tell you all 3 of them today, explain what all 3 of them are, but we're going to dive deeper into the first one on this session. This time that we're together today, we're going to dive deeper into the first one. And then over the next 2 sessions, we're going to dive deeper into the next 2 things. So again, I'm going to give you the 3 things that you need to make more money in your business. If you're new to the group, I want to give you a special welcome. I'm super excited. We have a lot of amazing, ambitious women joining this group. I went live last week, shared a few changes to the group rules. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch that so that your posts get approved inside of the group. But I also want to tell you a little bit about me, because if you're new here, maybe we haven't met before. Maybe we're not friends yet. Hi, good morning, Anna. Maybe we're not friends yet, but buckle up. I'm sure we're going to be friends soon, and I can't wait to see all of your amazing content that you share with this community. When I think about business growth, my own growth was a little bit rocky. Hi, oh, Anna, I'm so glad that you're new here. Wonderful. When I think about my own business growth, it was a little bit rocky. And what I mean by that is, yes, I have now grown a 6-figure business. Yes, I help women grow their 6-figure businesses. But I'm actually going to break it down for you and give you some of the details. Okay, my first year in business, a few years ago now, but my first year in business, I officially launched my business in March of that year. And I launched, meaning I had a website and no paying clients. Like I was like, it is into the world. I have released it. And then it was like, okay, where's everybody? Like, where are my clients? Okay, so my first year in business, I made about $5,000. That was it. Okay, some people would be really frustrated with that. I told you it was rocky. I had a rough start in that respect. But there was a lot going on that year. Some of you know my story, and I'm just going to share a very brief amount. But that year, every single business high I had was offset with a personal low or blow. So my dog died, right? Like I released my website. We had to put our family pet down. My dog died. My dad died very unexpectedly, and he was hospitalized for a month, and I had power of attorney and had to make all those medical decisions for him. So my dog died, my dad died. My father-in-law almost died a few months later. He was hospitalized in ICU for I think about 2 weeks. Part of his heart had exploded in his chest. We had our water heater blow water, flooded our basement twice. The engine blew on our car. In total, with home and car repairs, we had about $12,000 of home and car repairs that we had to do out of pocket. And then I ended the year being hospitalized myself for about 5 days with massive near fatal internal bleeding. To say it was a rough year, it was a rough year, which is I'm sure in part why I ended up being hospitalized with internal bleeding. So that was my first year in business. The $5,000 does not sound very glorious. Mind you, I have 3 boys and I was working in corporate at the time too. It felt like a lot of work that I was doing for not a lot of money, but there was just so many other things going on. My second year in business, I didn't have all of those things going on, that personal drama and grief and all of that. but I still only made about 20, I wrote down the numbers. Yeah, I made around $20,000 in business. Maybe it was 25, right? So I quadrupled my income from the prior year, but it was still nowhere near the amount that I needed to be making to leave my corporate job. I still wasn't helping the near number of women that I wanted to be helping to help them grow their businesses. And then my third year in business, I hit 100K. And I did it while still working my corporate job. The pandemic had hit. We moved our family of 5. I was juggling remote learning with our 3 ADHD boys. So on one hand, I could have used all of those things to be like, well, not going to do it again this year, right? There's just too much going on. There's a pandemic, XYZ, right? All these things, but I didn't. Okay, my third year in business, there's a very specific reason why I hit 100K that year and why I didn't in the prior years. And those are the 3 things that I'm sharing with you on these first 3 sessions of the Women Making Money Summer Series, because these are the things that made a massive difference in my business. So if you fast forward to today, I have well more than replaced my corporate income. I have left my corporate job. We moved last year. We're living in our dream home with 5 acres. All of our boys have their own bedrooms. They have their own bathrooms. Life is good. Right? Life is good. My business continues growing. I have scaled my business. My clients are getting even bigger results, and I'm not hustling for it. I am a former recovering hustle-aholic, and it truly became part of my identity at one point in time. Hi, Carrie-Ann. Good to see you on. So fast forward to now, things are good. Things are growing and my clients are getting amazing success. And this is something I help my clients do too, because just working more hours and working yourself into the ground, feeling stressed and overwhelmed is not what anybody really signs up for, right? Nobody launches their business, whether or not they're in corporate at the time, nobody launches their business and they're like, and you know what? I want to spend all my time at my computer, all my time. And nobody wants that. We want to go out. I'm going to take my oldest shopping after this. Mainly because I need a new swimsuit for going to Texas soon. But regardless, right, that's the life that we really want. And it starts with how you're growing your business right now. So this is why my clients come to me, okay? I had this phrase come to me. You'll probably see this in some more content. But clients come to me because they don't want to trade their sanity for their salary. Right? Even if you, right? Like in your own business, you pay yourself a salary. They don't want to trade their sanity for it. Like it doesn't do anybody any good if you're just at your computer 24/7, right? Working every weekend, working late at night, not sleeping good. Clients come to me because they don't want to work around the clock. They come to me because they don't want to hustle so hard. They want to make more money because they want to help more people and they want to have more time with their families. They don't want complicated funnels, all that tech. They really just want to simplify things, okay? And you don't need all those fancy tools to scale your business. You really don't. If you have those and they work for you, amazing. But it's not required to hit 10K months. It's not required to grow your 100K business. So they're really looking for that simplicity. But when you're trying to grow your business, there's a lot of self-doubt that can get in the way and cloud things, right? So you look to the experts to help you. Some people get really stuck in that trap of like mass consuming and signing up for all the freebies. And then they try funnels and then they try a new email list and then they try a new provider and then they try webinars and then they try landing pages and then they try, there's just so, like you can just clear all that away and know that if that's what you want to do, that's one thing. But if you think that's what you have to do to scale, it's not true, right? That's just a thought that you're having about it right now. A lot of times, for a lot of women I talk with, trying to do all those things is what actually breeds more stress and anxiety for them and chains them to their computer even more. Because now they're trying to figure out all this tech and they're trying to build all these fancy funnels, or they get really consumed and I need to have XYZ just right before I can do something, before I can help people. And it makes them feel more overwhelmed. It makes them feel like they have less time. And suddenly so many women I've talked to are like, I'm working 60 hours a week and I have no clients, or I have just a handful of clients. Like, how can I keep this up when I have a full client load if I can barely get my work done now? And that's where a lot of that stress and anxiety and then that self-doubt creeps in of how can I keep this up? How can I scale this? Because it's not scalable If you're already working 60 hours a week and you only have a handful of clients, like you're not even breaking six figures and you're working 60 hours a week. Okay, so these are all the things that I want you to just start to open yourself up to the fact that if you've been holding on to those beliefs, they may not be true. You could choose to believe something else. So here's what happened for me. I had worked as head of marketing for about 7 years in corporate. So when I launched my business, I felt really good about my strategy. I loved talking strategy. I still do. I get super excited. I was a stats major in college. Like, give me all the data, right? Like, this is fun. And I felt pretty good about it. But I still hit, last summer, guys, was rough for me. And I still showed up in here and I still helped clients. My clients still got big results, right? But last July and August, I spent most of those 2 months with extreme anxiety. I remember texting my husband one day and being like, thank God the kids are home, or I don't think I could get out of bed today. I actually had the thought cross my mind at one point of maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should just close my business, right? My business was doing well. It's not that I wasn't making money, right? I was on track to hit six figures, but it's because the money isn't what actually makes you feel good. It's how you're running your business. And I knew, like, logically, I knew this isn't okay, right? I shouldn't feel this way when I'm on the track to hit my goals and I'm on the track for success. Like, what is happening that this is how I feel right now? I was showing up, but not even really as myself. And so many of my clients that I talk to relate to that. They're like, I don't even recognize myself anymore. Or I used to enjoy XYZ and I don't. I used to run and I don't anymore. I used to work out, or I used to like love the weekends, and now it just feels like every day there's all this pressure to get things done and succeed. So I realized something needed to shift. And that's the 3 things that I'm sharing with you, because these 3 things, honest to God, like saved my business. I was on a bad trajectory. You can be making money and still be on a bad trajectory. And that trajectory can lead you to burnout, overwhelm, shutting down, anxiety, depression, right? All of those things become worse. And it's like that snowball effect. So I'm going to share these 3 things with you because this is what made the biggest difference for me. And this is what has made the biggest difference for a lot of my clients. It's really, I think, what helped me scale beyond the 6-figure mark and be able to do so with that, managing my own brain, this like certain amount of clarity of where I was heading and what I was capable of, instead of not feeling in control of anything. And feeling out of control is probably the number one thing that was breeding my anxiety. I didn't understand how I was creating my results, even though I had a solid strategy. That may or may not make sense to some of you if you've felt that way before, but I felt very out of control in my business. And this is the thing that has made the biggest difference for my clients too. I am so excited. You may have seen if you follow me on Instagram. I don't think I shared it in the group, but my client Robin is so amazing. And when Robin came to me, she was doing all the things in all the places, working all the time, but not signing a lot of coaching clients, right? And she felt like, why isn't it happening for me? And the number one thing that helped her, guys, is we simplified. We stripped away all the things she was pouring time and energy into that she didn't need to be. And I was celebrating on Instagram yesterday. I know I shared it over there, that she just messaged me. She just sold $10,000 worth of coaching, not just in a month, but in the last 2 weeks. Okay, or my client, Rachel, I shared about her too recently on social media, or maybe to my email list. If you're not on there, get on my email list. But Rachel, again, working in her business for 1.5 years, really struggling to make clients and make the money. And we simplified things. We had to really look at what was going on for her inside, how she was viewing things. And she went from generating a sales call, like somebody reaching out to her saying, hey, I want to work with you. She would generate one about every month or every other month to just generating 3 in a week. And she tripled her pricing. And what she said to me is, it doesn't even feel like I'm working. Like, it feels so easy. That's what I want for all of you. When I talk about growing a business that you love, when I talk about ease or flow, it is not this intangible woo-woo concept. It is actually tangible, and it means feeling at peace and feeling in control with your methods and your strategy, and then seeing the results, meaning you're actually making money from the work that you're doing inside your business. That's what I want for all of you. So here are the three things. Like I said, I'm going to give you the three things right now, and then we're going to talk a little bit more in detail on one of them and talk about the next two on the upcoming 2 episodes of the Women Making Money series. So the three things, it's probably sounds so simple, but it's not always the easiest work to do. Okay, that's why we're going to dive into each of them and I'm going to explain it. Number 1, you need to actually think like a CEO. Number 2, you need to show up in your business like a CEO. And number 3, you start making money like a CEO. Start making money like a CEO. So today we're going to talk about what this really means to think like a CEO. Okay, this is not a loosey-goosey woo-woo thing, guys. Get your pen and paper. You're going to actually be doing some work for yourself on this, either while we're on this call together live, you can drop your questions about it. Otherwise, catching the replay, right? This is going to stay up in the group. So what does it mean to think like a CEO? And I want to talk about why it's important and how it's probably different than how you're thinking right now. If you haven't scaled beyond 6 figures yet, or if it has felt bad, right? Like a lot of anxiety and overwhelm, then you're probably not really thinking like a CEO. You're probably thinking like the person you used to be that really dreamed of having these results. And that person wasn't at this level yet. So when we talk about thinking like a CEO, something that I want to make clear is the way you talk to yourself is incredibly important. But this is so much more than just reciting mantras and writing the next best Mel Robbins quote on your mirror. Okay, guys, I tried it all. One of the things that I think a lot of people are missing when they talk about mindset work or talk about how you think and how you talk to yourself is if you just cram positivity into your brain, meaning you just recite these mantras, but there's no belief behind it, that is the missing piece to scaling your business. It's having that belief in yourself, in your work, in your business, in your clients. Just reciting somebody else's words doesn't make a shift, doesn't create a shift inside of you. So it's so much more than that. When we talk about really thinking like a CEO and thinking about your business like a CEO would think it, we're also talking about making decisions for your business like a CEO. Okay? Just let that sink in for a minute. Thinking like a CEO means you make decisions like a CEO. And those decisions that you make for your business may look incredibly different than the decisions that you've been making up until this point. Because how you think about things dictates what you do. So I love to give my clients this analogy, and I think it's one that everybody can relate to, regardless of what stage of business that you're at. Let's pretend you have 2 neighbors, okay? So they live in the same town with the same weather. All those circumstances are the same. You have 2 neighbors, 2 women, and they both want to lose weight. They're on a health journey, okay? And they want to lose a few pounds. They want to get healthier. They have the same weather, right? One woman wakes up and looks outside and goes, oh, it's 60 degrees out and kind of drizzly. Oh, I don't feel like doing anything. This weather depresses me. You know what? I'm just going to treat myself today, and it's really crummy outside. It's kind of cold and kind of drizzly, and I'm just going to make it a movie day. And she makes popcorn and she bakes cookies and she sits down and she enjoys some Netflix marathon that she's loving. She was like, oh, I needed that. I deserved that, right? Like that was so good because it's such a crappy day outside. But the other woman wakes up, same weather, 60 degrees, gray and drizzly out. And she looks outside and she goes, wow, thank God it's not lightning. Oh my gosh, you know what? Maybe I could take my kids walking through the trails today. Maybe I'll go through the woods because it's just drizzling a little bit. Or if it starts raining harder, like maybe the kids will want to jump in the puddles. Like I'm going to go and I'm going to make this so fun and I'm going to do this walk in the woods with the kids today. And she does that. She gets the kids bundled up or she just takes herself. Lord knows mama wants some time alone too. Right? But she goes out and she does something like that for herself. And when you get moving and you feel better, then she comes home and so she cooks this really healthy lunch and maybe she makes a salad or tacos, right? But she has a lot of fruits and vegetables and she just enjoys it and she enjoys the day. Maybe she catches a movie too, right? Maybe it starts thundering and lightning later on and she catches a movie. But at the end of the day, the first woman did nothing but watch a movie, eat popcorn, and eat cookies because the weather was so crummy. And the other woman chose to take her kids on a walk, and she went and did something healthy for herself, and she enjoyed the fresh fruits and the vegetables or the salad she made, right? Even if she did enjoy a movie later, which woman is closer to her health goals? Obviously, the woman that went out and did something healthy for herself. And it's exactly the same. Yes, Anna said it's all up to your perspective. Your perspective is everything, and you get to choose what your perspective is. What do you always have control over in your business? You have control what you think about it. And when you choose to become the CEO that you're striving to be, you can choose to be her now. You can choose to think like a CEO right now. Yeah, the second one, of course she's going to hit her goals faster. The only difference, the real difference, the driving factor, was her perspective that morning when she woke up. That's what dictated which action she took that day. Oh, I think it's crummy and cold out, I'm going to watch a movie. That was her action she took versus, oh my gosh, thank God it's not thundering and lightning. I can take my kids in the rain, which dictated her actions that she took. Yeah, Karian said, don't let emotions control you. What's really interesting about emotions is we all have them, but what actually controls your emotions is your thoughts. You actually have a thought first that controls how you feel. And that's why when you pay a lot of attention to the thoughts that you have, when you pay attention to how you think about things, that changes how you feel, and then you take actions out of that. So in the case of the women looking out their windows at the weather, right, the first thought the first woman had was, oh, what a crappy day, which then made her feel unmotivated, made her feel maybe a little bit down. But it started actually with that thought. She didn't have the emotion first. You have a thought first. There's always a thought, whether it's conscious or subconscious, that drives the emotion. The other woman looked down and said, oh, thank God it's not raining. That was her first thought, which then drove her creativity, right? I'm going to get curious about what I can do today, or I'm going to get creative on how I can move today, even though it's gray and drizzly outside. So I think we do actually take action from our emotions, but we have control over that because it starts in the brain with what you're thinking first. Okay, so the mistake I see women making, how does this relate to your business? The mistake I see women making is they think, well, once I have XYZ, then I'll be able to insert this. This might look like once I have more clients, I'll show up more online. Or this might look like once I make $10,000, then I'll invest in the mentorship that I need. Or this might look like I have to make everybody else happy because insert this thing here, right? I've also seen it show up with women, and I'll share a specific example about this, but I'm just trying to launch my business. I'm just a newbie entrepreneur. I'm just doing this little thing on the side. That's your perspective about your entire business versus, right? When you see women talk about their company, my company does XYZ. Doesn't that sound so different than, oh, I'm just doing this little thing on the side. Oh, it's no big deal. I'm just XYZ, right? Yeah, Anna said you have to show up every day to get more success. 100%, adding value. Another thing that I see, another mistake I see women make in their thinking, and this is something that I used to do a lot. So like I can talk on such a deep level about this. It's the I shoulds or I have to. I should and I have to, right? Oh, I should show up today online. It doesn't feel very good, right? That feels like pressure, and pressure is not an emotion that creates success. That's why some people crack under pressure, right? Pressure actually usually leads to anxiety, self-doubt, self-criticism, self-loathing. Pressure for most people is not a money-making emotion, not real pressure. It's okay to be driven, right? Being driven and being motivated, setting goals for yourself are all very positive, good things, but pressure in of itself is not a money-making emotion. It is not a success emotion. So instead, right, if this resonates with you, if you're feeling this right now, if you're like, yes, I can see how I've done this to myself, I can see this happening inside my business, think about who you want to be when you hit that goal. If your goal is 100K or 200K, 300K, 500K, whatever level you're at right now, think about who are you when you've hit that goal. So let's talk about the 100K entrepreneur. If right now you're working around the clock, you're feeling a lot of stress and anxiety, you feel all this overwhelm, and you tell yourself that's all going to go away when I hit 100K, I am going to tell you right now you are lying to yourself. Who you are right now is the exact same person that you're going to be when you hit 100K. I promise you that. You will have the same brain and the same responses to stress that you do right now. So think about, who do you really want to be when you're that 100K version of yourself, or 200K, right? This is something. I want you to grab your pencil and paper. This is work that I want you to do. Who do I want to be when I am that next version of myself? Again, I'm just going to use 100K in here because that's where a lot of my clients are scaling to. Who is the 100K version of you? Is she stressed and overwhelmed? Or is she really calm and confident? Is she working around the clock 7 days a week because that's what she needs to do to keep making 100K or to scale further? Or does she have a business that provides her the time freedom too? How is she actually spending her days? Because that's the foundation you need to build inside of your business right now. Yeah, Anna said confident. So if you want to feel confident at 100K, you need to feel confident with where you're at in your business right now, and you can already become the confident entrepreneur. And that's part of thinking like a CEO, right? We all have a vision of what we associate with the word CEO. And I'm guessing for you, CEOs are confident, right? Because that's who you want to be. That's what you want the next version of yourself to look like. So ask yourself, right? Write it down. What does the 100K version of me look like? This is really important, guys. I didn't have that in my notes. I'm writing it down so I know I gave you guys that work. And I said I'd give you a really practical example of this. My client, Kara, is amazing. We scaled her business so fast, okay? You've probably seen me talk about her on social media. She's awesome. When Kara came to me, she was making on monthly retainers like around $2,000 a month. And when I asked her where she wanted to be, where do you want to grow your business to? She couldn't even articulate that answer. What it turned out she really wanted is she really wanted to build a 100K business, but that fell out of the realm of possibilities for her. It was like, can I really do that? I'm already working all the time. And I only say that comparatively to where she wanted to be, right? I'm only making $2,000 a month right now. How on earth can I get to a 100K business when I'm already working around the clock? And so part of what we did, our work together, was coaching around where do you want to be and how do we start to do that now? Well, where she wanted to be was scaling and growing this 100K business and beyond. But serving, I don't know what she had, 9 clients or something to make the $2,000 a month, you can't just scale on that. But something that came out of our work together, okay, we ended up scaling her business to, she's now hit 10K months serving fewer clients. Okay, so we had to flip it. What came out of our coaching, this Think Like a CEO, was that she shared with me on one of our sessions that when she would meet people, do you want to know how she introduced herself? Here she was scaling to a 100K business, multiple clients that she's serving, and when people asked her what she did, she would say, I'm a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, right? Stay-at-home moms are amazing. I love them. That's amazing if that's what somebody wants. But that wasn't who she really was. She was an entrepreneur scaling a 6-figure business who was hiring her first team members. That's not the same concept. It's not the same self-image as being a stay-at-home mom. So that was some work that we did around for her. And guys, we've wrapped up our coaching together and she is actually mapped out on track for a $500,000 a year in business. She has it all mapped out. Right? She is on her way scaling there. How amazing is that? So think about, I want you to answer that question, right? What does the 100K version or what does the next version of you look like inside of your business? Then I want you to get really honest with yourself. What would change for you if you already believed you were that person? How would your decisions change? Right? What decisions are you making right now not thinking like a CEO, because that's what's giving you your current results, right? Whatever results you're getting inside of your business right now are a direct result of the thoughts that you're thinking. And it starts with thinking like a CEO. So this is where your first work is. On the next 2 sessions, we're going to talk about specifically what it looks like to show up like a CEO and then making money like a CEO. These are the first 3 things that massively changed my business. This is what has massively changed Kara's business. Or Robin, I think I shared with you Robin, right? She signed $10,000 of coaching in the last 2 weeks. Or my client Rachel, who got the 3 sales inquiries in 1 week when that used to be what she would get over 3 to 6 months, and it felt easy. So answer those 2 questions. If you want to share inside the group, go ahead and share inside the group. You guys can support each other, cheer each other on. But ask yourself, what does the 100K version of you look like? And what would change inside of your business if you already acted like her now and made decisions like that? Because those are the CEO level decisions that we want you making for your business. Maybe what you invest in would change. Maybe how you talk about yourself would change. Maybe how you set your boundaries and give yourself structure to when you're going to work and when you're not going to work would change. There are so many things that this affects, and it all starts with you. So that is it, ladies. Oh, we are right on time. I planned about 20 to 30 minutes for this. I will be announcing inside the group when episode 2 of the Women Making Money Summer Series is going to launch. I think it might be on Tuesday next week. I have to check my calendar. So I have loved it. I'm glad some of you could hop on live. If you catch the replay, feel free to engage with this. Drop a comment. Let me know that you watched the replay. And I will see you ladies next week for episode 2. This is going to be so fun. I'm super excited. And as always, ladies, if you are looking for mentorship and guidance to be able to scale your business, sans hustle, right? We want to drop the hustle, have more growth, working fewer hours. Connect with me. I am happy to talk with you. It starts with a free call where we just hop on and I learn more about your business and we talk about what that could look like to do that work together to start hitting your goals. All right, ladies. Oh, I love seeing all the hearts. Thank you, ladies. Have a wonderful day.